Hello there. So far this October, we've been building in some pretty big contrasts in terms of rainfall. Parts of the south haven't even had a single drop of rain yet, whereas across northern Scotland, Aboyne in Aberdeenshire, we've already had 113 millimetres of rain. That's already more than an average October. And of course, we're only a third of the way through the month. Then we had these temperature contrasts on Tuesday. 26 degrees in Writtle near Chelmsford in Essex, just 13 in Lerwick behind a cold front across the far north of Scotland.
Spectacular picture right now, because Carol's got one. Is it spectacular? It's quite spectacular. There's a rainbow.
Yes, it is behind me, Sal, and it really does tell the story. You know, many of us started off this week with very high temperatures, but they are going to plummet as we go through the next few days. We'll see a return to what we would expect at this time of year. What's happening today is we've got a weather front sinking south, and behind it, it's dragging in some cooler conditions for much of the UK, but not into the south. But Sal and John, you really will notice the difference in the feel of the weather as we head through the ensuing few days. It will feel much cooler.
Is it time for the big coat?
Yes.
Oh, at last. Carol, thank you.
Good morning, both. You will really notice the difference in the weather over the next few days. It's going to turn cooler, much more like we'd expect it actually at this time of year. And by the time we get to the weekend, temperatures, having been above average for many of us, will actually be below average.
Getting chilly.
That's right. Temperatures by the weekend will be below average, where some of us have had them above average for so long, John. And there'll be frosts and snow, dare I say, on the tops of the hills and mountains in Scotland. But what we have today is a quiet start for some. You can see this lovely weatherwatchers picture of Cambridgeshire. Well, we've got rain on the way. The end of this week, we'll be talking about frosts and even some snow in the mountains in Scotland. I know, it's quite a change compared to what some of us have been used to. Because good morning to you too. It has been a very mild October really so far for the bulk of the country, not everywhere of course. It's a chilly start in Montrose this morning, and what we have is a weather front which is sinking south, and behind that weather front is where we're seeing the fresher conditions. But if you're just stepping out in London, currently it's 18 degrees, 17 in Cardiff, 15 in Blackpool, but in Aviemore it is a nippy 6 degrees, but it'll be colder for you as we go through the course of this week in Aviemore. What is happening is it's going to turn colder. There'll be some nighttime frosts and some snow on the tops of the hills in Scotland by the time we get to the weekend. The other change is this rain. We haven't seen rain across some parts of southern England for some time, and this weather watcher shows it's falling already in Derbyshire.
Getting a bit chillier, Carol.
That's right, Sal, a lot chillier actually, especially by the weekend. We'll have frost, and in the tops of the hills and mountains in Scotland, down to 400 metres, there will even be snow. But we've had contrasts already this month. If we take a look at this, we've had no rainfall in some parts of southern England, but 113 millimetres of rainfall in Aboyne in Aberdeenshire. Now, that's more than we'd expect for the whole of October, the average for October. The other thing that's going to change, as Sal said, is it's going to turn much cooler. That's starting to happen already from the north of the country, behind this weather front, which is continuing to slip southwards. And again, the wind's picking up across the far northwest of the country. Temperatures tomorrow behind that weather front are slipping. We've lost the 20s and we're back down to about 17 at best. Sal and John.
Carol, thank you. You haven't said brrr yet today, but are we there yet?
There's time. Yes, definitely.
Check the barometer. Thank you, Carol.